Hello, class. So this week in this lecture, we're going to look at the animation tools. We're going to look at it very. I mean, we're going to look at it in a very simple way. Um, so when we think about animation, we're thinking about properties of the model or the bones. In this case, we're gonna animate the bones as opposed to the model. But think of the properties that are being changed over time. So and big one that we're going to do is basically is, again, I've already got the chest lid bone selected. Let's go in and bring in the rotation tool. I mean, we're going to set that to be, let's say, 120. Bring that out. So we're going to have the lid open up like this. And yeah, there's a little gap right there. Don't worry about it. This is again a test of animation. I mean, if we were, you know, more, we would move the bone and but for our purposes, that's going to be perfectly fine. All right, I do want to get this back at the 0 point. So you get this lid. So I want to get this back at the 0 before we do anything again. So we know that Y again is going to be a 120 degree. So, um, before we do anything, let's think about time. This is going to happen over about 20 frames. So I actually want to go in and bring up my time configuration, and it's this animation block right here. It is, start time is 0, end time. I'm just going to type in 20 right here and click OK. And that will give me only 20 frames. And that's basically, again, you get a default 100 frames. You might need more, you might need less. This is so you can control that amount of time so that, it doesn't export out random data that you don't need. So they're just, next one is you want to turn on auto key. And that's going to turn this red. That means that you're doing stuff. The key is right here, set keys. So in this case, I'm setting a key here, and I'm going to set a key here. So think of keys as points on the timeline where there's data. So I'm gonna go from 1 all the way to 19, and again, I'm going to rotate it 120 degrees. And you see that it created a key right there. And I'm gonna, throw in and make sure, again, red, green, blue, those are position, scale, rotation. So I'm setting all of the positions, even though I only set the green one, which is the rotation. And I'm going to go 20, and I'm going to hit a key here. So what I've done is what I've done is I've got these 2 frames right here, which I'm going to be basically using as an idle animation, and these 2 as an idle animation with it open. So what I've done is I've got a keyframe here. I can go between these 2 frames, and it's going to stay closed, so it's not going to animate. And I go between these 2 frames, and it's going to stay open and not animate. But when I go between these 2 frames is where the animation's happening. And that's really it for what I'm doing here for my work. I mean, what I'm doing here is I'm exporting out multiple animations. And that's something you can do with Unity, is that you can, with one timeline, have multiple animations embedded into it. So this is being built for Unity. So again, these 2 so I've got essentially 3 animations going on. This one right here, which would be, again, is my closed state, my opening animation. Again, if I reverse it, I can get a close. And then the last 2 is basically keeping it open. And I like having 2 frames just to make sure I'm cycling between frames. So you can see I'm halfway here. And that's pretty much what we need to do. Again, now all I have to do is I will file, save my scene, file, and I'm going to export out. I'm going to export out as the lecture. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to replace it. Click OK, and off I go. So in Unity, all I need to go, bring up Unity here, not Unity Hub. I can go to the model and I can re-import it. Hello, refresh. Why is it doing this? Okay, so I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to go back to my folder, and re-import. There we go. And again, I got to go back and I wanted to scale it by 0.05. There you go. So now I've got back to where I was before, but now I have this take 001. And this is where the animations come. If I click on that, here we go. I click on animation. There we go. So I click on the model, I click on animation. It's going to give me this here. And I'm going to get clips. And I'm going to literally, I can go and I can rename the clip here. And this is going to be, well, what I want is actually three of these. So take 01. Oh wow. So I'm going to rename this. So this is going to be my closed. The idle close. Idle. Actually, I'll do chest open. And this will be chest. Opening. So I want this, so I'm going to go in here and so I want the start time at 0, end time to be 1. That's, those 2 frames I wanted. The open, we knew this was at 19 and 20. And then opening is going to be at 1 to 19. I click down here, I'll save my changes, and you see that now I have 3 new animations. Okay, these are basically animation clips. And that's how you basically want to set up your model. Name, if you got multiple animations on that timeline, you'll just make multiple animations. And that's pretty much what we're doing with the animations right now. So if I want to see them in action, here's my scene view. So I'm going to grab my create lecture, and I can just drag one of these animations and put the opening on it, and it's going to give me this It's going to give me this. It's going to give me a controller called the create. So name of the model. So there's an animation controller that's been up. So I've got a new element here, and I've got an animator here. So the animator is what's going to make it move, and how it's going to move is going to be determined by this. I'm just going to open this up. It's going to bring up this animator window, and I've actually parented it here. I've also will have parented like this, so I can see my view. And right now it is a state machine. It starts here and it's going to go to this chest opening, and it's just going to play that, and it's going to play it looped over and over again. And if we go back and press play, you can see that there is my chest. Is it not looping? So looking. Motion speed. I'm just looking. Huh. It stayed here. It didn't stay. I expected. Motion time, speed, Vera. I'm not too worried about that. But we will talk more about the animator. So the next thing, so I just wanted to show you, hey, here I can show animation play. Cool. Let's just check. Just opening speed, and you can increase the speed. So we can press play, it'll jump even twice as fast. And I can slow down the speed. So 0.5 is nice. I can also flip the inverse this. And if I do that, it will go from opening to closed. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do next lecture. So if you just throw an animation, one of the animations on and just have it play, or if you go back and just play, the original clip, that's perfectly fine. That's gonna get what you need to do. So that's all you need to do is just get the model in with the animations. Ideally you should get these clips ready, and then have it play one on. And that's all you need to do for this lecture. I mean, for this assignment. So that's lab 12. The next thing will be, we'll actually control it. We'll actually do, I'm going to give you a script. So that's where we're going. We're going to open and close using a button press. So. All right, good luck. If you got problems or you got issues, come talk to me.